Hello, today we are going to look at how to shape bagels. First, start out by lining a baking sheet with parchment paper, and you'll want to lightly spray that with cooking oil. Take your dough out of the bowl, and you'll want to divide it into 10 equal pieces. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You could either weigh it on your gram scale and then divide that by 10 and weigh out each one, or you can eyeball it. Sometimes I will weigh them out and sometimes I don't want to do that, so I just eyeball it. A kitchen scissors makes this process a lot easier. You can also rip the dough, but it does take a little bit more effort to do it that way. Okay, so those are all divided out. And the next step, you will take and start at one end of the dough and roll it up, just like you see in the video. You'll want to create tension. Now this tension is going to give you a good exterior on your bagel, a nice crust. So pull it towards you. It'll roll. And then you can set that off to the side. You'll continue that with all 10 bagels. You will want your dough to rest for about 10 minutes in between this step and the next one. Usually, by the time you get done doing the first step, that first bagel is ready to move on to the next step. Now this is the more traditional way of shaping bagels. You can do the poke hole method, which is basically like making a dough ball and then poking a hole in it. I prefer this way, and it's a little bit more fun to do it this way. Okay, so now we'll start on the next step. Here you're going to roll it out into a log. It's probably going to need to be about a 10-inch log, and it might take a little bit of encouraging the dough to go this long. And once you have it that long, you will take the two ends and you basically kind of tie a knot, and then I usually roll this side of the bagel on the counter to make it cohesive, and that way it'll stay together when it is boiled and baked. So there's your first bagel. It is shaped and done. We will continue with the next 9. And sometimes it helps to flip it over. They say that your dominant hand, which for me would be my right, it presses down harder, so you want your log to be as even as possible, so your bagel is even as possible. So if you flip your dough halfway through and roll it on the other side, then it will be a more consistent shaped log. So again, you're tying that knot and then rolling it together and continuing on to the next bagel. this dough is a very nice texture. So it is very easy to work with, and as you can see, I don't have any flour. I didn't grease my counter at all. I'm just working on a clean, dry surface. Okay, so we're rolling those ends together. And done. And like a lot of things, practice makes perfect, so. As you can see there too, I will pinch the ends together sometimes. That also helps it to stay together well. If you are having a hard time getting the dough log long enough, you can let it rest for like 5 to 10 minutes and then continue rolling it, and that gives the gluten a chance to relax and makes it easier to work with. So we're finishing on those last 3 bagels. Okay, so that's the last bagel that I'm working on there. If you are looking for a sourdough bagel recipe, you can check out my New York style sourdough bagel recipe on thefarmchicken.com. I will also put the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.